So the next major update for the PlayStation 5 is live now in beta form, sort of. The next God of War game is a Loki game, along with God of War Remake leaks and the insane PlayStation Studio news. Those are stories we're going to cover today, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. First, yes or no, did you play the Demon's Souls remake or not? I personally bought the Demon's Souls remake at launch. I tried getting into it. I really tried, but I couldn't. They're not really my type of games, but I can't deny how great that game looks. But that's just me. What about you guys? So comment below yes or no if you've played the Demon's Souls remake or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, the shocking PlayStation Studio news, but there is something people are potentially missing. So, as most of you know, Bluepoint Games is getting shut down come this March. I don't really need to reiterate a lot of what the internet has stated because I'm pretty sure most of you have seen all of that by now. It was cycling like crazy. I'll share my thoughts. I was very surprised. Yes, Bluepoint Games hasn't put out something since 2020, but they are a small studio of very talented people. So I put up my initial reaction to this just being in shock about the whole situation, thinking, my goodness, PlayStation, you guys have so many IPs that Bluepoint could have taken over. And then I started thinking about it more so. Apparently, Sony gave Bluepoint Games the last year to pitch a new project, so if Sony really just wanted to shut down the studio, they wouldn't have given them that opportunity. Sony is also clearly not against Bluepoint Games taking hold of their legendary IPs, Demon's Souls, Uncharted, God of War. Like God of War itself, they allowed Bluepoint to try to make a live service game with one of their biggest IPs. There was clearly trust with the studio. I feel like Bluepoint Games they didn't want to do remakes and remasters anymore. They knew at the time Sony would more easily greenlight a live service game, and this is on Sony here as well because they were pushing that for a while, but that doesn't mean they were against you creating something non-live service like look at Saros. That's not a live service game. But getting back to it, with an IP like God of War, there might have been an easier chance at success with a live service game because it's a very much known global IP. As we know though, that was shut down. Bluepoint Games was given another chance and their pitches seemingly didn't work out. They also again probably didn't want to make remakes or remasters, and Sony was probably limited in what they could do. Do they keep giving this studio time to create an original game since they don't want to do remakes, or shut them down? And we clearly know what happened. Again, to me, Sony clearly would have been down for them to make more remakes and remasters. They've done that for Sony for years. Uncharted, God of War, Demon's Souls, Shadow of the Colossus. Sony wasn't against that aspect. This is, of course, just my theory, but I really wonder if this is what happened. I hope we hear more clearly about what the situation was at some point in the future from somebody in the studio, anybody leaving, etc., stuff like that. But either way, it's sad to see them go. I at least hope they find work elsewhere at PlayStation. And if you're enjoying the video so far, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community on our way to 150,000 subscribers. Now diving into the second story of the video, the God of War Remake leaks and the next God of War game being Loki focused. So there's a lot that happened in the last 24 hours for God of War. To start at the root, Christopher Judge was at a fan expo and a fan asked him questions. She gave her camera to someone else because she couldn't record with her camera, but the mic that was on her was still on, so Chris was still being recorded. He basically said God of War Remake will have new modern tech, which isn't shocking, but also a new combat system. Beyond that, he said you'll see our project in late summer, which seemingly hinted to the next big game from the studio, which is Cory Barlog's game. Christopher put out a response to this video getting out there saying, "Let me be crystal clear, I have zero involvement with the original games and what they involve, full stop. As much as I would love that everything I do in the future would involve Sony Santa Monica and God of War, I have other projects that I am super excited about. More info this summer." So this was interesting to read because he doesn't really pull back what he said about the God of War remakes, but does seemingly point to the project he was referring to in the video being something else not God of War related. I personally worry about a potential new combat system, and I will see how that goes, if that's even happening, but that's something that was on my mind. But after that, things started to fly in regards to the next God of War or, Corey's game. Let's lay all of this out. It's not a new IP. It's not a sci-fi game. It's not a licensed game. Apparently, it's also not an Atreus game. I didn't know. Shinobi hinted at that last year. Recently, leaker Ashong hinted it's not the next mainline God of War game either. So, my original thought was clearly this is a new character in the God of War universe, and that's what I was going to put and go with. But Special Nick, the same person who leaked the God of War PlayStation 5 trilogy back in 2023, stated this last night. No, it's not an Atreus-focused title. Take note, he's emphasizing it's not an Atreus game. He's really, focused on the name Atreus. Many people in the replies caught the same thing I did. Could this be a Loki game? God of Mischief, Loki, looks to be the game we might be getting in 2027 from Corey, if it's not a completely new character. This is not a new IP, it's not licensed, it's not a quote-unquote Atreus-focused game, it's not the next mainline God of War game, it's not a licensed IP. I think this might really be it. Again, this is just a theory because we've heard everything this game cannot be, which makes it very limited in it what it could be at this point. It's either this Loki game or it's a completely new character, a new cast, and that's where that's going. But you guys let me know if you think Corey's game is a Loki game or something else. Let me know down in the comments below. And now diving into the final story of the video, the next major update for the PlayStation 5 is live now in beta form, sort of. So this is a weird situation and a first for Sony this generation, which makes me wonder if this is what they're going to do going forward. Sony didn't have a blog post, no announcement, no nothing for the next beta rollout. People, however, have gotten their invites, and I know this because I've gotten messages on the next beta. People have been invited, and Sony said nothing. Now, the very weird thing is that I've seen posts on Twitter about people getting their code but not being able to do anything with it. They keep getting errors like this voucher cannot be redeemed in your region, for example, which is the one that I got when I tried to redeem a code. So maybe Sony sent out these invites early, these codes early by accident, and they want to actually put out a blog post before they allow people to download and install this beta, because nobody is actually able to, or from what I've seen, actually able to install the beta itself. So the beta itself, talking about that, it's not anything at all. This has to be the worst in terms of features because it's just new emojis. That's it. Now, there could be under the hood updates as always, but for us as users in the beta, this is a nothing situation. I genuinely have to believe at this point, most of the operating system team have to have moved over to the PlayStation 6 and they're fully working on that. Because this update is nothing, like nothing for us. It's just emojis. This is very wild. But this really makes me want to see what the next OS is for the PlayStation 6, which we might not see for a while, but I really hope we actually do see it come next year. But you guys let me know if you've been invited to the beta or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button. As it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with "The weekend is here." The weekend is finally here. I'm going to try to relax and ease up, but obviously I'm always doing stuff. But hopefully I can finish Ghost of Sparta this weekend. But if you guys are excited for the weekend ahead, destroy the comment section with "The weekend is here," and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.